where I'm coming from with that, it's not because I look at myself and think, oh, you're fat. I'm trying to avoid hate. Because if I'm feeling vulnerable and I put something out like that where I feel like I am a little bit fluffy, it's a certain type of person that comments on things like that. So it's like I feel a little bit anxious to let that go, because it means I let go of the good people too.
Because she's fostered a community with the people. Like they're not just people. They connect for a reason, because they have some level of relationship with Steph.
One way only, when it's just so simple at the end of the day and you just need to take the layers off and go back to the basics. But that can be really overwhelming for people and they just don't know where to start now. I'm still mum, but like it's like I can't control them in the way that I used to and get them to do what I want and believe what I want. They believe in what they want. So it's new territory for me. So.
Been great though, good experience.
Yeah, sorry, what was the question?
Yeah. I think when we graduated as trainers, over a decade ago, it was definitely not like this. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like we were in a small little room, had the same instructor, maybe two instructors throughout the course of a 6 or 12 month period, and the content or the lessons that we were getting were pretty standardized. Like they weren't too far out. And often not overly practical in the sense of what we could actually apply in the real world. And then, being here and then listening to all the things that get taught and being able to be one of the educators has been pretty great.
Yeah. I remember when I did my course, I kind of, sat in a room and it was a bit boring and there was a lot of paperwork, and I think we went down to the supermarket once and that was supposed to be nutrition day and that was it, and I didn't really learn anything at all. Didn't learn specialised lifting like these girls are here. It's kind of good to be on the other end of that and
it's crazy.
See how far also the course has come with you guys.
It's exciting to see all of those girls become trainers as well. I think learning what they've learned through the course, they'll be ready for the industry, that's for sure. Yeah. Ready to make a dent.
Yeah.
More confident than
the average one.
We were.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a step ahead above the rest, that's for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes probably our biggest struggle is learning how to be business partners but then lovers after that in the same day, like switching off from business. And because we work around the clock, sometimes I'll speak to you as a business partner, which can come off as bossy and masculine, which then he doesn't like. But then if I feel like you're just bossing me around, I don't feel heard in the business. So finding that balance of respecting each other and kind of being a little bit more equal in our business setting, but then when we're away from that, going back to our feminine and masculine dynamic of what's comfortable for us, which can be hard, especially when you're tired, because we'll just like have a big day of work and then be like, oh, can't be bothered, Well, that's what it's like for me. You could be different.
No, that's a good point. It's hard wearing two hats, that's for sure. The work hat and the relationship hat. I think there's probably more than two hats, because there's the parenting hat, as well, which adds another dynamic to everything. It's a lot of hats, that's for sure. So learning how to juggle those can be challenging. And I think like our situation is probably a little bit unique in the sense that we do so much together. Like we're working together, raising these teens together, living together, doing just about everything together, talking together, podcasting together.
Go to the chiropractor together. I reckon we spend...
A lot of our appointments together.
The only time we spend apart is when he's training, I would say, on his own at like 4 a.m. That's about it.
Or have I got an appointment somewhere, but so there's a lot of time together, more so than the average couple, which I think, which is okay. We adapt, but then we butt heads sometimes as well. As any couple does, but I think that was probably one of the reasons why we wanted to start the podcast.
To talk about it, to view light on it from our experience. Like,
feels like we've been together physically for nearly 9 years, but it feels like maybe 90 years with the amount of time we spend together in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, no, we've had to definitely learn to overcome our battles very quickly. And I feel like you said, like being together, really 9 years isn't that long in comparison to people who've been together like 60 years. But we've had to do a lot in that short period of time. Jamie is the stepdad to my 2 children from a previous marriage, and he came on as a stepdad when he was 23 years old, which is quite young for a young lad to take on 2 kids. So it kind of from the get-go, our relationship was just full on at the start. So we've learned to adapt around that early on, and didn't really have a honeymoon period, would you say?
Maybe not traditional honeymoon.
Yeah.
I think we had a honeymoon period.
No,
I was pretty honeymooned up for the first couple of years.
When I say that, when I was,
I think you were too.
No, I don't mean it in that regard. I mean like the traditional where they'll go on holidays together without kids and a lot of courting.
Yeah. It was straight into responsibility.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, exactly right. I think it's easy to probably get along when there's less responsibility. When you're thrown straight into the deep end, you start.
You know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
So you're either in or out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas kind of people do that whole courting thing, have a lot of fun, then get married and have kids, and they're like, oh my gosh, we're struggling.
See the real person.
Yeah, like we're already struggling. So we anything else on top of this, like we got it.
It's hard. Like we are such a mirror for each other as well. Like we can't hide anything.
Yeah.
Ever. Like if I'm off, she'll tell me. If she's off, I'll tell her.
I can feel it straight away, and I'm like, talk about it.
Yeah.
We're not moving out of this room until we face this right now.
Yeah.
Like you don't get a lot of man space, which is bad for you probably, because a lot of men will kind of have a feeling and just need to go off and think about that. Whereas I'm like, what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's made me pretty attuned to myself. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe more so than most. So.
Yeah. And we have to be super careful as well, like because we are around each other so much to not drag each other's spirits down. Because I think when someone that you're close with is in a bad energy bubble, they can drag you down with them. So if we get too negative on each other because we're tired or whatever, we're a detriment to each other. So we always have to make sure that we're not like in our spiritual or our aura or whatever, like being in a low vibration, which is not easy all the time because sometimes you vibrate low. But yeah, just checking in with each other and making sure that we're not dragging each other down too much, because then we get nothing done and it gets heavy. So yeah. But we are human and we have our moments, but yeah, I think that's something that we prioritize, is making sure that we look after our spiritual health and our emotional health with each other and in our relationship. It's a high priority.
I remember doing like pre-postnatal stuff, like in terms of dealing with pregnancy. I did diploma of fitness, so we went through that to some degree. But I didn't really walk away feeling like I absorbed that information, especially being a guy. Like I didn't feel like I had a great understanding of that. I did end up working with plenty of pregnant and postpartum women. So I learned very much on the field and had to learn quickly and made sure I was doing all of the right things. But yeah, it's funny, like as a guy trainer, like I still wasn't that I was intentionally marketing for women, but female clients were definitely the dominant bulk of my clients, just because I think women are obviously always tend to be more interested in personal training. Yeah, so I had to learn very quickly, but yeah, I can't imagine what it would have been like having the more specific dialed in information that you guys are teaching here. That would have been a game changer, that's for sure.
Yeah, we want to have one of our own. Just there's a part of me that's been a little bit freaked out about that, because that changes everything, because I'm the online personality. So it's like, is that going to work with our job? But I know that everything happens for a reason, and that if I was to fall pregnant at any stage, which is kind of the goal right now, that there's room for pregnancy programs, there's room to show that you can be pregnant and train, and there's a place for it, which is exciting. But it does give me a little bit of the anxiety about it would change everything, if that makes sense. So Yeah, there's a bit of that, but sometimes you just got to let life flow and things are meant to be and go with it and kind of flow with the changes, which is what you were saying earlier. Like, what's the next 5 years? Are you going to keep going hard like this? I don't know. Maybe it might change for me. Maybe I might have the baby within, 2 more years and now I'm a pregnancy trainer and maybe I'm 6 times smaller than this. Maybe I don't have size on me. Like, I don't know. I'm open to it. I probably wouldn't have said that 5 years ago. It would have freaked me out. But I'm kind of at this stage of my life where I'm just, whatever happens, happens and allow life to flow. And if you're working hard and doing the right thing, things will come to you in the end anyway. How can it not?
I think I wish there was something like this when I was getting qualified as a trainer, that's for sure. I didn't even know something like this existed, actually. So we didn't really know, like we knew of you guys, but we didn't know what we were necessarily walking into. And then meeting you and then meeting the whole group of people was pretty cool. And the educators are all great, super knowledgeable. And the girls are really hungry to learn, which is cool as well. This isn't just a place to come have a good time, although people are having a good time, but they're also soaking up a lot of good information, which is really cool to see.
I also think, like, for myself, I moved to a small town of Geelong when I was 19 and had my baby straight away, and I knew nobody, and it's really hard to get to know people when you're not from the same town or if you don't go to the same school or anything like that. And I feel like this is such a great opportunity to make lifetime friends and bond, especially if you're someone who struggles with friendships or struggle to put yourself out there to even meet people. I feel like, even just seeing the girls today, you would think that they've known each other for years and they've all kind of just met and swapping numbers and doing, FaceTimes with each other's kids. And it's just, I feel like this is a place where you can find new bonds and friendships and just continue to grow and have the support that you need if you're struggling with,
especially
the course or your fitness industry.
Especially if you're one of the people in your friendship group that becomes the trainer, you sort of become separate to a lot of people in your friendship group, unless they all follow suit, but many won't.
Yeah.
So finding a group of people that are not only similar but also have the same interests, which is the health and fitness and trying to start a career in that space, such a good networking place.
Yeah. Like I know for myself, my friends, like the friends that I do have, they don't do what I do. They don't get it. They're not into fitness. They're completely on the flip side of anything to do with being fit. And sometimes I miss having someone that I can talk to about that or go train with. Just having a place like this where you get to just engage with people and find that those bonds is really special and unheard of. Like even when I went and did my course years ago, there was nothing to connect with at the end. Just you were done and you're on your way. There's no help and support, but it's just like a real family here, which is really special.
What happens when you combine world-class education, breathtaking surroundings, and a community of like-minded women? You get the Women's Fitness Academy EduVacation. 10 days that will challenge, inspire, and transform you.